Every day, millions of people carry silent questions about life, purpose, and happiness. Welcome to Pondering Life's Journeys, a place where we explore the struggles of being human and the timeless wisdom that helps us navigate them. But here's something important. Most people who watch these videos never subscribe. If these conversations mean something to you, if even one idea resonates, please subscribe and like this video. It helps this channel reach the people who might desperately need to hear these messages, and it gives us the heart to keep creating them. Because none of us are truly walking this journey alone.
Have you ever noticed how some people seem to command a room without raising their voice or demanding attention? They speak little, yet the atmosphere bends around them. Conversations slow, eyes follow, and suddenly everyone feels their presence. This quiet authority is not magic, it is restraint. Most of us were trained to do the opposite. We answer immediately, explain ourselves constantly, and rush to soothe every tension. But constant availability makes you predictable. When people know exactly how you will react, they can guide your emotions like pulling strings on a puppet. The moment you pause, however, the pattern breaks. Silence interrupts expectation and forces others to confront uncertainty. The psychologist Carl Jung believed that irritation often reveals hidden truths about ourselves. When you stop reacting instantly, watch who becomes uncomfortable, who pushes harder, who demands explanations. Their urgency exposes the invisible contract they assumed you had signed, the contract of endless access. Every quick reply, every forced smile, every emotional reaction spends a fragment of your inner energy. Over time, the cost appears as exhaustion, confusion, and the strange feeling that you are everywhere for everyone except yourself. This journey is not about rejecting people, it is about reclaiming authorship over your attention. Your silence, your pauses, your deliberate distance become signals that your inner world is no longer public property. And the moment that shift begins, everything around you starts to change, because mystery replaces predictability, and people suddenly realize they never truly understood you at all before.
From childhood, many people are praised for being helpful, agreeable, and endlessly available. You answer messages immediately, say yes when exhausted, and apologize even when you did nothing wrong. At first, it feels like kindness, but over time, it becomes a quiet form of self-abandonment. The more accessible you become, the easier it is for others to treat you like an emotional emergency button, pressed whenever they need comfort, validation, or distraction. Then, when relief arrives, you are placed back on the shelf as if nothing happened. Carl Jung described the social mask we wear for approval as the persona. It smiles when you want to scream, agrees when your instincts say stop, and explains itself endlessly to avoid rejection. The danger is that the longer you live through this mask, the further you drift from your authentic center. Constant availability drains what Jung called psychic energy, the limited inner force that fuels attention, thought, emotion, and will. Every unnecessary argument, every attempt to please someone who barely values you, quietly spends that energy. Imagine your mind as a reservoir. If everyone can draw from it freely, the well eventually dries up. Boundaries are the walls that protect that reservoir. They are not cruelty, they are maintenance. When you delay a response, refuse a draining conversation, or choose silence instead of justification, you redirect energy back into your own life. Slowly, clarity returns, fatigue fades, and you remember something essential. Your presence is valuable precisely because it is not unlimited.
Another hidden dynamic appears when you begin protecting your energy: the collapse of psychological projections. According to Carl Jung, projection occurs when people place their unrecognized fears, desires, or insecurities onto someone else. If you are endlessly available, you become the perfect screen for those images. The rescuer, the listener, the reliable one, the person who always understands. Yet many relationships are not built on who you truly are. They are built on the role you quietly agreed to perform. When you suddenly withdraw, that stage collapses. Messages become sharper, questions become accusations. Why are you distant? Why are you different? What changed? In reality, nothing essential changed, except your willingness to keep playing along. Silence exposes the structure underneath the relationship. Those who valued you adapt. They respect the boundary. Those who depended on your constant reactions become restless because your quiet forces them to face their own emotions without using you as an outlet. This moment often feels uncomfortable, even frightening, because humans are conditioned to repair tension quickly. But remaining calm within that tension is where real psychological strength forms. You realize that you are not responsible for regulating every emotion around you. Instead, you become an observer. You listen more than you speak. You notice patterns instead of chasing approval. Slowly, a new reputation emerges. Access to your attention must now be earned, not assumed. That subtle shift transforms every interaction in your life moving forward.
Eventually, the silence you created outside begins transforming the landscape within. At first, the quiet feels strange, almost like loneliness. Without constant messages, arguments, and obligations, your mind confronts its own thoughts. But this is exactly where individuation begins, a concept central to Carl Jung. Individuation means becoming whole instead of merely acceptable. It asks you to remove the persona, question inherited expectations, and rediscover the voice that existed before you tried to please everyone. Solitude in this phase is not punishment, it is a workshop for the soul. Here, your energy slowly returns to its source. Creativity, curiosity, and calm replace the old anxiety of constant reaction. You begin choosing conversations instead of chasing them, choosing relationships instead of maintaining them out of guilt. Some people will drift away, others will challenge your boundaries, yet those who remain will meet you more honestly because they are finally encountering the real person behind the mask. The reward for this courage is quiet but profound self-respect. You wake with clarity about where your energy belongs and where it must never be wasted. Life becomes less crowded yet more meaningful because your presence is now deliberate, not automatic. This is the paradox of personal power. When you stop being available to everything, you finally become available to your purpose, your peace, and the rare connections that honor who you truly are becoming, day by day, with quiet strength, guiding every step you take from now.
If this conversation gave you something to think about, a new perspective, or even a small sense of clarity, then this channel is for you. consider joining this growing community by subscribing and leave a like on the video so more people searching for answers can find these ideas too. Your support keeps these conversations alive. Until the next video, keep reflecting, keep growing, and keep pondering life's journeys.